Ooh, this is gonna be a good one.
Another one.
So the headline for this one is, my company's client offered me a job that is four, what? 4 times more paying. What? Is that right? So let's get into it. So the company I work is, let's start that over. All right. So the company I work at is basically overloading me with work. They gave me a lot of work to complete in very, very, very little time. The pay is average as well. So my company basically finds rich businessmen from first world countries and then offers them our services. And for that, they hire us, people from third world countries, so that they can pay us peanuts of what clients have paid them. All right. And it continues. Anyways, I was on a video call with one of our clients and he started asking me personal questions about my salary, to which I told him how much I was being paid. He was surprised that I'm being paid 4 to 6 times less than what he is paying the company for my service. So he offered that I should leave my job and directly work for him. He is a great person. Otherwise, I'm really tempted to now. I'm just confused and can't stop feeling bad that if I accept his offer, I'd be basically betraying my company. Am I right to feel this way? Is he right for feeling this way? I'm going to say this, right? So when companies contract overseas, it's like the reason that they contract overseas is because it's cheaper than getting the employees in the quote unquote first world countries. It's cheaper to get them in the third world countries, and then there's like they don't have to pay like the benefits and all that type of stuff, right? So now that the company that you work for, they're paying you peanuts of what the clients have paid them. So let me put it this way, right? Because to be honest with you, like there's that same complaint here in the States as well. Like, oh, we're getting paid peanuts, right? Maybe not peanuts, maybe almonds or roasted cashews, right? We're getting paid very little to what compared to what the client is paying, right? So an example, right? You might be a QA engineer and you're making let's say $90,000 a year, right? And you are and you guys have multiple clients who are paying over $1 million a year for your service, right? To your company, right? So here's what you have to consider. Number one, the company that you work for is taking the risk, right? They are also providing you a lot of the infrastructure and structure that you need, right? Because they are making sure that you get paid on time, although it might be in peanuts, right? But you're getting paid on time. They are taking on the risk, right? And I think a lot of people all over the world, especially like even especially in first world countries, especially here in the United States, they do not see that they do not see the risk that companies take on a daily basis in order to be able to provide for the clients, provide for the employees, and everything like that. Um, and you don't like although you say that they are paying they are paying how much did you say 3 to 4 times so you're getting so the company's being paid 4 to 6 times more than what so you're being paid 4 to 6 times less than what he's paying for your service. So with that being said, your company is like I said, taking on the risk, right? They have to be profitable as well. Like I don't know how much I don't know how you calculate that in order to be able to provide you and other people a job. So now here comes to the real part, right? Should you leave your job and directly work for that person? So here is how I'm going to answer that question, right? Outside of like feeling bad and betraying your company that you work for, right? Is if you make that move, you become your own company and you take on all the risk for yourself, right? Everything becomes on you. And now you have to manage to make sure that you do get paid from this person. And now, what if that person goes out of business? They no longer need your services and all that type of stuff, right? So now you take on that burden on yourself to be able to provide for yourself. And do you think that if you were to leave your current company to go to work directly for this person, and now things don't work out, that they're going to take you back, right? I'm not saying that it's a bad move for you to make, or I'm not saying it's a good move to make. I'm just offering perspective into the when you make these type of moves on number one, going to work directly for a client. Sometimes it works out, depends on the size of the client. But if that person is hiring you on directly, you got to be able to manage the cost and everything like that. Another question is, do you get any type of benefits working for the current company that you work for, or do you pay like everything out of pocket? Like you said, you're working in a third world country. I don't know what they offer there, if anything, right? But I just want to put everything into perspective that you got to be careful with your temptations, right? Like it says in the Bible, like do not lead us into temptation. And you're tempted right now. You have to look at it from a holistic perspective. I'm not saying like if if you can get more money, right? And if your question was if this was your question, another company is offering to pay me more money, right? Should I leave my current company? Then emphatically I would say yes, because um, but the question is, are you ready to become your own business, right? Like Jay-Z said, I'm a business man, right? You're not just a businessman, you're a businessman. And if you're ready to take on that risk and whatever comes after that, that's on you, right? Whether it works out or not, or it doesn't work out, that's totally on you. No one's going to feel sympathy for you. No one's going to feel sorry for you. You're not going to be able to crawl back to that job that you were and say, well, I was wrong because because technically you are betraying the company if you were to leave them for a client. And you gotta check to make sure that there's no contractual agreements in there as well on your end as well as on your company's client. And because if they poach their workers, right, then that can cause you significant harm and can cause that other company significant harm as well. And your company's going to be all right. I'll give you a quick example. Years ago at a company, we wanted to bring on one of our contractors to be a full time employee, but there in the clause it said that our company was unable to hire one of their employees um, with I think you had to wait like a 6 months to a year before we could actually do that because that's their money, that's their bottom line. Um, so that's what I want you to understand and to consider. I can't really say whether you should um, accept his offer and betray your company because I mean Because at the end of the day, we all have to do what's best for us. Like I said the other day, we we must have our best interest in mind because no one else will, right? Now the question is it in your best interest? It depends. It just depends. I don't know the strength of that company to say whether you should or not, but and I don't know the repercussions that could come with if you were to leave that company for a client, right? If you're leaving it for a competitor, that's sort of different. But if you're leaving it for a client, that is very, very hard to say. All right. So that is that. Yeah, that's what I got for that one. Be careful. And one thing I'll add to that, you gotta be careful when you're dealing with the clients. Because you don't know if that's even a setup, right? To test to see what you would do. Are you trustworthy? Because what if like now if that client sees that, oh, you were so easy to turn your back on who you actually work for, maybe they lose confidence in it, it it's like when a it's like when someone is in a relationship and then they they leave that relationship for the person that they cheated with, and then they get surprised when that person cheats on them too. Like, come on, right? So you gotta be careful. You want to do things the right way, you know. But yeah, like that's like I said, it's not to say whether you should leave or not. You just gotta be careful because at the end of the day, you're putting your livelihood on the line with whatever you decide. All right. So getting paid more, definitely think it's in your best interest, but leaving in the wrong way and doing shady business, that is not right. And you got to definitely be careful how you navigate the field because you also don't want to be blackballed, right? And to think that, and trust me, blackballing happens in every single industry. So don't think that it won't happen here, especially like in a third world country where companies talk, especially like if you're working for a contracting company and they can, I don't know what can happen. So be careful. And that is that.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.